And then enters Professor Booster. He's short, and he has red glasses. Now, oddly enough, that implies Booster's hesitation to admit that implies that they have met, but the game never builds off that. So this is where that pink thing comes into play. It's a hover bike. There they go. Now we make one final journey back through Grass Town. Whenever I made this, I always like to try to speedrun it. Or something, I always used to pretend it was like a time trial or something. Like, holy crap, the place is blowing up behind you. You need to get through it as fast as you can. I think my record is like about a minute and a half or something. Maybe a little bit longer, I'm not sure. If I had to estimate, I would say about a minute and a half. I think it was my second playthrough, which is one where I used the machine gun, which is kind of a bad button. Except you can fly with it, that's kind of cool. Those big fat blue guys are annoying as ever. There's the blown up motorbike. So we're done with Grass Town. Now, if you do want the bonus gun, on that journey back, you could have stopped off to get the jellyfish juice, and then what you do is you go into the assembly hall in Mimiga Village, put it in the fireplace, and you get the bubbler, which I don't really think is a good gun. Level 3 is kind of fun, but it's not really that great. But I didn't do that in this walkthrough. There's Booster. There's kind of a long cutscene here. There's King. This is where King starts becoming awesome. But really, King is my favorite character just because of one cutscene. People who have played this game through, you guys know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're gonna know quite soon. King, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation point. The Sand Zone. That is one of my favorite areas in this game. I just love the place. See, I just found it a bit cooler if the robots were dispatched like 1,000 years ago instead of 10. That just would have been kind of cool. Time to hit the Sand Zone, which is also one of the longest places in the game. But once we get out of here, because once you finish the Sand Zone, there's no turning back. You'll know what I mean once we get there. There's a bit of foreshadowing with our mysterious little friend over there. And now for the first half of the Sand Zone, you kind of just go through and blast everything apart. Well, really, that's what you do throughout all the Sand Zone, except for the portion where you have to find the dogs, which is really annoying. It's also, in fact, the whole dog hunt the whole dog hunt thing is like half of this. It's like half of the entire Sand Zone. Not that it spans half. It means like half of the time it takes. Now you go fight a pretty easy boss. Which is kind of a sadistic boss because you get to shoot Mimiga children. Now, if you so desire, oh yeah, the Mimiga children actually hurt you if you touch them for some reason. Now, after you beat this boss, which is just shooting the hell out of her, this is where you get the option to get the machine gun. Unless you want a really good challenge, don't do it because the gun is hard. The gun is kind of crappy. Pretty easy boss. Touching her doesn't hurt you. The only thing that hurts you are the children and the machine gun bullets. Now, again, it actually doesn't matter what you say there. The result winds up being the same. If you say yes, she thinks you're lying, I think. I think that's how it goes. No. And at this point, we're going to go save. The only reason you even go here is because of the healing and the save point. But once you beat her, that's where the sand zone really gets started. Notice these things. They come into play a little bit later. There are also these guys, which are kind of annoying, unless you have a level 3 Polar Star, in which case they're just wusses. Easy life capsule. Oh, by the way, in this portion, do not touch that sand. It's not gonna crap! Because of those guys that I hate. Wait, how did I get the fireball? I forget it. Because if you touch that sand, you get visited by a thing called a sand croc. Everybody hates them. I've really never met anybody who's played Cave Story who doesn't hate these guys. I mean the sand crocs, not those little somethings. Those little somethings are really easy to kill. Luckily, those sand crocs are easily avoided, and they're only in 2 areas in the game. This is one of them. I mean, if they were in this game's sadistic final area, I'm sure that Pixel would have found a way to make them really hard. Thank God that they're not. Hidden save point up there. Also, notice I went through those walls that were shaped like animal footprint, or whatever, paw print, whatever you want to call it. More of those solar god guys. I forget what they're called. It says in the credits, but I forget what they're called. I only remember the names of a few of the enemies. Oh wait, what am I doing? Just go heal. That other sandpit over there has a sand croc in it. Don't touch it. You can get a few hearts here if you want. Also, killing suppresses. I almost got hit by that guy. But regardless, right here is where we fight another boss he's pretty easy. You would have fought Misery here, which would have been very hard, because Misery, when we get to her eventually, is going to be pretty tough. But here we fight Omega, the giant sand crab. He's only tough if you let him spawn a ton of those little red things. Otherwise, this guy is really easy. Even when he gets to half health and he starts jumping around. I mean, the level 3 Polar Star just decimates him. Again, Eyes of Flame plays. Very good boss theme. Love it. There he goes.